All right. I'm here with Peter Apel. Peter,
Yes.
tell me how you started your business, what you do in your business, and what it's called.
Okay. The whole thing started just having my own kids. And so I played guitar. So I'm a drummer by nature.
No way.
Yes.
He's always on a
way.
guitar.
But I had a guitar in the house and I'd play guitar around the house. And I played it for my kids when they were little. And people would come over to our house and they would really like the songs. And so they would request the songs the next time they came. They'd say, could you play that song you played last time? But I was just making the songs up. And so I couldn't play the songs. So I started writing the songs down. And eventually I had enough songs that I was able to put some albums together. And I recorded some albums. So that's how I got into recording and all that. Oh, so I'm sorry, the business. So the business, I volunteered at my kids' preschool. I just said, can I come for reading time and sing some songs? And they really liked it, so they invited me back. But instead of his class, they had all the classes come. And so it was like a school assembly.
Wow.
And so that's how I started doing school assemblies. So that worked out. And then went from assemblies to, different preschools and teaching and things like that.
Were you working as a musician, as a drummer when that happened?
I was actually in high tech at the time, Silicon Valley, software engineer, that kind of thing.
Oh,
and so,
wow.
Yeah, and so I made the switch into music, and
Never looked
here we
back.
are.
Yeah. So you
yeah.
go as Peter Apel. Like is that how people find you?
Yeah, Apel. So
Apel.
pronunciation, yeah, Apel, and they find me. Peter Apel. Peter Apel Music is the most common, my Instagram handle and Facebook and all that stuff. Little branding issue. I have this guy here, Fred Pinsocket.
I love Fred Pinsocket. Oh, let's make
there
sure
you
he
go.
sees Fred Pinsocket.
Little spaceman who loves bananas. So my company is called Fred Pinsocket Productions. So officially that would be the company. But yeah, Peter Apel or Peter Apel Music is probably the best way to find me.
Super.
Yeah.
So one of the questions I wanted to ask you in particular is most music teachers, they operate off a sort of base of traditional songs, and you don't. Everything that I hear you doing is either something that we've asked you to do, which means that it's
Right.
either traditional or something that we do every year, or it's something that's wholly yours.
Right. So I base most of my performances and teaching off of my own songs, or like you said, because I am a songwriter and very creative, I can piece together songs spontaneously at the moment to support the teaching structure or things like that.
You definitely have a jam band vibe.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, so most of my teaching performances based off of my own work, and supplemented with traditional tunes and some popular tunes that the kids might know. But I'm happy to supplement also by making stuff up on the spot or preparing for a specific performance or request that any client may have.
So your music is available on Spotify and Apple Music and things like that. Do people who aren't from right here, we're in the South Bay right now. Most of the people I've been speaking to have been in Peninsula. Do the people that come to you ever come from further away than our area?
I'm primarily South Bay, but my range is just dependent upon time, budget, and that kind of thing. So I go out to East Bay quite a bit. Could be San Ramon, Martinez, places like that. I've even gone to other states and things like that for someone that wanted a specific performance or something for a school assembly or something like that.
So then how did those people find you?
They found me through music, through the web, I guess. Yeah, through the web. Yeah, and then what else? I think that's it. But mostly I'm South Bay because I need to get out, get to the place, do the work, and get back.
Completely,
and then people that want more, there's a lot of libraries around the area, so I do a lot of library work. And then the libraries could be any number of towns around the area. So yeah, so my distance is, my range is just limited by kind of time and budget. But
right.
I work with my clients to see if it works or if it doesn't work.
Well, I mean, the beauty of it is that you build the business to operate with what works for you, right? You're not
Right.
going to be, if working online isn't your thing, then you don't need to.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, what kind of situations do you prefer? Like, what kind of situations have been best or even worse for you
Yep.
for teaching?
The best ones, I think, are when somebody discovers me either at a previous performance or online, or they've got my book. This little guy here, Fred Pinsocket. So there's a book, Fred Pinsocket Loves Bananas. Maybe somebody ordered the book, and so they looked me up that way. But it's people that have seen me before at a performance, and they said, hey, I really like what this guy does. I like his personality, and I want to bring him into my community. It could be a school, a library, a festival, something like that. And so they're trying to bring what they've seen in, as opposed to saying, let's see, we need to hire a musician, and then just doing a web search or something like that.
Right. Because
So-
you have, I mean, you have some things. The events that you do in Felton at the historic railroad,
Right.
right?
Roaring Camp Railroad.
Right.
Yeah.
Did they find you via school?
That one was, they have kind of different artists that would come in, and then I sat in one time and kind of worked out. The vibe was good, and then they started bringing me back a little more, and now I do a lot of the major kind of family events out there.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
so Thomas the Train events and things like that. So
That's brilliant.
yeah, but we match very closely with the people that are walking around with their families, looking to have a certain good time and vibe over there, and then I do the music for them over there.
What kind of growth goals do you have?
Growth goals, possibly, probably on the creative side, not as much as on the business side, maybe, or on putting maybe more of a curriculum together. I tend to go a lot of one-shot spots. So a client might say, hey, we're studying dinosaurs, or we're studying creativity or colors, and I'll put a show together for that. So I might try to stretch myself a little bit and try to have a little bit more of a curriculum, where I could say I could bring a curriculum, bring my thing in. I can teach a series of classes or something like that. But,
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's
probably.
funny. I don't feel like you, while you are a performer, I feel like everything you've done involves the students in a way that is teaching,
Yes.
I think it's funny because there's this kind of imaginary line in between the two things. And there aren't a lot of people that straddle that line so effectively. Most stay on one side or the other. Like, I definitely will never call myself a performer. Like, I don't want anyone to sit down and watch me. That's not a life goal for me. But but your events that have been referred to as performances, always the kids are doing things.
Right.
Always they
Right.
are involved.
Right.
They're,
So so one of my trademarks in my performances is actually, I have a microphone always ready, and I will get kids to volunteer and come up and talk with me. They'll talk on the microphone. I'll get them to sing a song. It might just be the ABCs or Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, but generally people are shocked at the engagement I can get from kids on that microphone. They can be a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old, and we'll have a pretty good conversation in front of a pretty good audience of people. And so I definitely like to get the kids involved. And then the kids that are in the audience, they also appreciate seeing somebody up front, because they can imagine themselves being up front always. But yeah, that interaction, I definitely try to keep the kids involved in my shows. I try to keep parents involved, so that's another part of my trademark. I
Requirement.
think I need to keep my performances interesting for the parents as well, so the kids and the parents are entertained at the same time, and that's very important. And then, like you said, teaching. Everything I do has a little educational bent to it. Some of it's sneakier than others, but I'm always trying to teach something in there. It might be manners, it might be public speaking on a microphone, or it might be a larger vocabulary word or something like that.
That's super.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for talking to me today.
Yeah, thank you, Sarah.
All right, this is Peter Apel and Peter Apel Music. Peter Apel.
There you go. Yeah.